Welcome to the LabVIEW tutorials. This tutorial is about wires. In this tutorial, we'll cover the concept of wires, wires and their data types, automatically wiring objects, manually wiring objects, cleaning up wires, and the correct wiring of controls and indicators. The overarching concept of wires is to handle data. In a text-based programming language, data is stored and accessed by functions through the use of variables. In LabVIEW, wires implicitly handle all of the data storage and access that would be associated with variables. You can think of wires as a path for data to flow. Data comes into block diagram objects through a wire and can only leave a block diagram object through a wire. Additionally, a broken wire, shown by a red X on the wire, will prevent your program from running. Take a look at the following block diagram objects and notice the colors of the different wires. Every wire has an associated data type, indicated by the type of data that's transferred by that wire. Here's a display of some of the more common data types that you'll see on different wires that you'll be using. Let's take a look at a simple block diagram that will help us understand how to connect wires to their respective inputs and outputs. If we notice the color of the input, it's orange, as well as the color of the wire leading to it and the color of the control. This means that the data type is consistent. It's a double, which is a kind of numeric data. The data type for reset signal is green, indicating that it's a Boolean data type. Because these data types are consistent, you can wire them together. You might ask, what would happen if you wire a green wire to an orange input? The result is a broken wire. Because the input is looking for a numeric and you've wired in a Boolean, the wire is broken. If you hold your mouse over the broken wire, it will explain that you've connected two terminals of different types. To remove broken wires, simply press Ctrl B and then rewire them correctly. Wiring block diagram objects is simple and can be done both manually or automatically. To manually wire objects together, hold your mouse over an output. When the wiring tool appears, click and simply drag to the next input, where you'll click again. This connects the wire. To ensure that auto wiring is enabled, or if you'd like to disable it, go to the Tools menu and select Options. Under the block diagram category, check or uncheck Enable Auto Wiring according to your preference. Select OK to save and exit. With auto wiring enabled, when you place a new object on the block diagram, the wires will automatically connect to nearby inputs and outputs. You can toggle this on and off using the spacebar. Sometimes when you're wiring, you may not be able to make the wire go in a straight line. If this happens, you can simply right-click on the wire and select Clean Up Wire. LabVIEW will automatically clean up the wire and give it the best path possible. Now follow along in this brief demonstration that will help you more thoroughly understand the concepts of wiring. Start by creating a blank VI. Right-click on the front panel to bring up the Controls palette and pin it to the workspace. From the Numeric palette, select a knob control and drag it onto the front panel. Also select a tank indicator and drag it to the front panel. Navigate up one level and from the Boolean subpalette, select a round LED. Drag it to the front panel. Also select a vertical toggle switch and drag it to the front panel. Now let's look at the block diagram. Click Window, Show Block Diagram. Notice that the color of the knob control and the tank indicator are the same. This means that they are of the same data type and can hence be connected by a wire. Hold your mouse over the output of the knob control to get the wiring tool. Click and drag the wire to the tank. Click again to terminate the wire. Notice that the wire is orange, indicating that it is also the same data type as the knob and the tank. Try branching off of this wire and connecting it to the Boolean indicator. This breaks the wire as we have connected two terminals of different types. Click this wire and delete it. Now wire the Boolean vertical toggle switch to the Boolean LED indicator. Let's go back to our front panel by pressing Ctrl E. If we now run this VI continuously, we can change the knob and see the tank change respectively, as the knob control data is being passed to the tank indicator. Also, if we flip the switch, we can see the LED light up according to the position of the switch. This demonstrates the consistent wiring of data types on a block diagram. In conclusion, we've covered the concept of wires and their data types, automatically wiring objects, manually wiring objects, cleaning up wires, and the correct wiring of controls and indicators.